Greetings, full fans. This is Erwin, and today we'll be looking at the Orasans. To be honest, this is not um, my version. This is the original version that came out back in 2009 after Microcosmos, and it was released once more in Toyo 4 in 2011. Now, as you can see, it's just three of them. Not 12, but just three. Sadly enough, that these will belong to the three three young heroes of the comic series. Now, we're gonna look at it individually in one video again. So, yeah, here is okay. Now, it is also based from real watches. Yes, there was this in they made this around back in back in 2009, and they were the real life watches that you'll need to pre-order them or buy them from the Foldabots multiplier site, which I believe the it's not around anymore, I guess. Or is it? Okay, so as you can see, alteration wise, the 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 folding lines were now dotted lines instead of the solid ones. Except for the logo, you'll actually see some few green lines visible. Now, there's also a wearing function for this because they have these watch straps, so you can wear it onto your wrist like this, and you're gonna and all you need is two extra paper clips to connect these two together and some masking tape. Masking tape was abundantly used back then, aside from holding this strap on your wrist and the holding the weapons in the excuse me, one more time, in the Foldabots Akimat Akimat card game or battle card game. So, first up we will look at Dakotan. Dakotan here is Galoy's guardian Folbot. He is a grayish white. He's a great short watch, and he's not that. He's not really that. Really not good. Really bad. Now, transform him real quick is we get to open this part out, then pull the legs, and what I like to do is to reattach them back again. You can actually take off the paper clip right away, and just have to get the arm out, the not the leg in. Sometimes the hardest part of grabbing these little nails, these little toes is yeah. Let's get this one too. Take note that I've also based the transformation gimmick from these guys. Now, I went to a lot of trials and errors during my idea phase of making a combiner that will combine with this with another set and eventually with more sets to form Mega Chronos. If you've ever watched my anniversary video playlist, you'll probably wonder why I have. So here it is. Now, as you can see, I actually pulled out the little canopy here on the top, and this is Dakotron, or otherwise known as Arasan number one. Now, I really love the aesthetics and what do you call this? Engineering of these little dudes. Posability wise, he has some like articulations. At times, not much articulation. You can bend the arms, but be careful not to fold them. And that's Dakoton. Next up is Miko's Guardian Foldabot. And another tip about Dakoton. He is based on a Guardian mech, if I can remember it right. Now, here is Miko's Guardian Foldabot, Kulog. Now, just like Dakoton, he's in the same watch design, except it's blue. Now, just like the others, you can actually attach this like so. Transformation is very simple, much more simple than Dakoton. What you do is to flip the wings and pull out the head and tail. The head is the trickiest part in forming Kulog, because you'll need some picking and grabbing to get that head out. Now, what we do next is we insert the wings onto the little slot on top. See here, and just straighten this thing out. If you want, you can leave the wings curled or so, but it's much more appropriate to keep their wings spread out. Keep its wings spread out. Now, you might also read my blog at ejsoto.blogspot.com on the about the Orasans. I've had the part where I I made the part where I told about the story of how I made these guys. So better check that out. It's at the Foldabots blog. Now here's Kulog. Now Kulog here is a condor, I guess, or somewhat resembles a bird. Now he also comes out with this little dude, Blup or Bloop. You, he's a little tiny little Luton. If you remember back in the early episodes, he when Lucio was defeated, this little bugger came out, and there were origin stories that Bloop is actually the crawled beak hunter from the Dark Ages, and everybody's been puzzling about the who are the two, who are those two in the original comics, not the Chronicles version. Who were well, in my theory, that the guy with the cowl of of that bird must have been the like a like a parody of or a homage to Gatchaman or G-Force or Battle of the Planets. Now here, this guy is now there must be a story about it, but I'll be trying to do a story based on Dark Ages. But since you can actually notice that Bloop can actually ride on this thing. And alteration wise, in the original version, Bloop is a flat, it's a little flat piece that is still inserted here, but due to the limit of the pattern, limit of the sheet, they decided to add the what is said to be werewolf archer's weapon, which I don't really have. Thankfully, they didn't even reissue those unused Dark Ages characters. So there you have it, the logo. And we bring this aside and looking at Raya's Guardian Foldabot Kulog. Now we are focusing on the continuity of the original series, not my Megamix. Now Raya's the only girl in the gang, perhaps. But as you can see, this is a really, really bloody red watch. No doubt about it. Now, transformation real quick is to pull these and pull the tail, pull the head. You got these two little feet. Pull the toes. I apologize on my last video where I said about John Dave Salazar or Jodasos 1129 being a not much of a bad review, not much of a good reviewer, but I apologize of what I said last time. Really, his review show isn't that bad at all. Yes, he is 10 times more. His review show is 10 times better than mine. Maybe it's because of he had more. He had more better effects than I am, or it must be the audience power. Now we're just going to attach the front legs. Now, alteration wise from from my version is they had to be they are just glued in like two flat pieces. They don't come out as a hollow leg with a leg with a hollow part on top, just like the Bots or the other bots. Now here's Kulog. As you can see, Lobo. Yeah, Lobo is a wolf, as the name implies. Now in the Dark Ages, reimagining. She's originated from Malaponisha, the sorceress that was once trapped in the forest, and yada yada yada. Got the wolf spirit, and boom. Now, in the original reimagining, she was this girl with a wolf cowl. Yeah, if you notice that, you'll be surprised of why they actually did that in the first place. I am really surprised that I am going to base the base the characters for of the of my upcoming story from the original continuity, and not the Chronicles continuity, of course. So that's Kuloga, and since we'll be doing a really not so short video this time, we're gonna combine these three here to form Bakunawa Dragon. Now you've seen me do this with my version, so we'll be doing this again with Jomike's version. First up, we'll be switching the legs of Lobo and yeah. As you can see, in the later episodes, the Bakunawa Dragon encounters Controlion, and then when Buhawi was in a bad shape, the Orasans were the ones who sacrificed themselves and gave their spirit to Buhawi to revive again. Now, it's kind of sad to see these guys again. Never see these guys again. But Buhawi, when Buhawi got the power of the Orasans, he finally is infused with it, and thus the creation of the ultimate Agimat Buhawi, or ultimate Buhawi for sure, ultimate Buhawi, if you prefer. What we do next is touch Kulog's wings. Now, I didn't. There's a preference. You can remove Dakotron's legs and transfer it to Kulog. What I do is I place Lobo's hind legs on Kulog instead of so what we got is the front and back ready. We'll be assembling it real quick. Attaching the wings on Dakotron is a little bit tricky, so better bear with it. Now we'll be pulling out this little thing right here. Now, there's a purpose to this. By the way, this thing, aside from covering the hole for blow up, it also acts as a little tab for you to attach this little end of Dakotan's canopy. One moment. Now, I also like to push the little tab further onto the back so it doesn't get in the way. And yeah, you can adjust the legs so it will balance. It's up to you because you can actually balance the legs later on. But if you want, you can actually do it right away. Now, like I said, the aesthetics of this thing really stands out because of the their ability to form somewhat different from the usual humanoid combiner. Another great dragon example of a dragon combiner in the series is Cantolian, the one I've reviewed back then. Cantolian is basically a kaiju dragon, and yeah, not like this guy. He's barely different, and I noticed that. So there you have it, Bakunawa dragon. You can actually put these little pincer arms in it inside, and yeah, there it is. So what you have here is a representation of the Philippine flag, and posable articulation-wise, just like okay, Loba has four moving legs, so you can they're articulated because of the paper clips. Now, since we have them all together, there are six limbs that you can move. That was, and the bonus is the jaw is actually movable. I will not do a size comparison on this one, but you might see him next to what I made last time. Here he is next to Rancada. He is indeed bigger than Rancada, and here he is next to Metatran. Metatran is Metatran and Bakunawa Dragon is almost same length, almost same length, indeed. So there you have it, for fans. Bakunawa Dragon, and this has been Erwin from the Foldabots blog. And sorry if I haven't got up with the Commutatron review. I will get to that as soon as I scan them. So, see you next time.